Hey, what's going on, CoinOpTV subscribers? Robert Welkner here. In this video, I want to talk about Servant, a brand new show on Apple TV Plus. They just dropped 3 episodes over Thanksgiving break. Also, by the way, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to all you guys and gals out there celebrating. So we got to watch 3 episodes. That seems to be the pattern now with Apple TV Plus. They'll drop kind of 3 episodes on their new shows and then roll out an episode at a time, week to week. I'm glad this doesn't drop on Fridays, so I actually get a little bit of a leg up on watching a new show to sort of review and talk about on my YouTube channel. Speaking of, if you guys are brand new to my CoinOpTV YouTube channel, please subscribe, hit the bell. If you like this video or you don't like it, leave comments. Let me know, what you think of my review, and we'll go from there. We'll discuss from there. So I got my show notes over here. I want to refer to. There's a lot of things to unpack in the first 3 episodes of Servant, and what I'm going to do is talk a little briefly my thoughts and reactions without spoilers, and then we're going to go deep dive and headfirst into the spoilers, and I'll let you know when that happens. So let's get started. So Servant. Episodes 1, 2, and 3, I watched them all last night, and here I am Thanksgiving morning vlogging and making a video for you guys here. So it's the M. Night Shyamalan. It's the new show that he's seems to be directing. I think maybe all the episodes. It doesn't appear to be that he's the writer or the series creator. So I think this is a little bit new territory for him. I'm not quite sure how many movies that he's directed, but hasn't created or written, so that's sort of an interesting take on things to see how he's going to step in and fill those shoes. But so far so good. There was, as far as directing goes, there was some very strange stuff in the first episode where we had some real extreme close-ups like this of characters talking directly to the camera that went on for a pretty extended time, and I think that they were meant or purposely done to make you feel uncomfortable. But it kind of got to the point where I really felt uncomfortable, and I was just like, bro, bring the camera back, let's chill, let's relax. And it seemed like in episodes 2 and 3, he did get to a little more of a general or a pulled back sort of shooting style, and not so much in your face right there with those extreme close-ups. So it seemed like maybe the executive producers maybe gave M. Night a little note there and said, hey, back it up a little bit. But so that was cool. I appreciated that. I mean, it's cool if you want to get stylized and very extreme with your shots, but to have an extensive straight to camera facing shot like dialogue back and forth just seems a little extreme, a little out of place for my taste. You guys, guys and gals, let me know in the comments below. So Servant stars Lauren Ambrose as Dorothy Turner. If you've seen the trailer, you know a little bit about the show here. So she has a baby doll that she sort of cares for. She's grieving, and her husband Sean Turner, Toby Kebbell, I haven't heard of him before. Lauren Ambrose I knew from like 6 Feet Under, so that was cool. And then Leanne is the young nanny that they hired to sort of take care of the fake baby, the doll. And again, this is all stuff on the trailer. Leanne is played by Nell Tiger. And then we get Julian, played by Rupert Grint. It's great to see anybody from Harry Potter in a TV show or something like that. And Rupert's acting in this actually is commendable. I gotta give him a shout out. I think he's doing kind of a fun job so far. He seems to be playing a little bit of a frantic, neurotic alcoholic. Julian is Dorothy's brother, so Sean kind of brings him over, and they discuss a few of the things that I'll talk about a little more shortly, and that's how he gets kind of ingrained into this story. We're in Philadelphia. It's familiar territory for M. Night. He seems to always shoot things in Philadelphia. We get to see this little bit of family, and they've got this doll, and they hire this nanny to take care of the doll, and the husband's like, all right, hey, when the mom is away, you don't have to pretend anymore to the nanny. But she's like, no, I'm just going to keep on, caring for the kid like it's a real kid. And it sort of adds this air of mystery, or, you don't really know what the heck is going to happen, what's going to go on. There's little clues here and there that sort of happen. I do like that these episodes are about 30 minutes each. I feel like it's a good time frame because we're in pretty much one location, a house, a few characters. The show, while it is a little stylized and interesting to look at, does feel kind of on the cheap side, where there's not a lot of locations and not a lot of things happening externally. So to spend an hour in each episode, I felt like might have dragged, but a half hour, I can kind of deal with that. I do think that this kind of felt like a couple episodes from like Black Mirror as far as the surrealism and kind of the weirdness. So if you do like Black Mirror, the show Black Mirror, some of the episodes, you know, you might sort of feel at home with this. Overall, I guess as a new show, I'm liking it. It's not really blowing me away or doing anything like so crazy. You know, the way M. Night movies are generally is they're kind of slow burns with the hook and the surprise at the end. This one, he kind of puts a little bit of a hook and the surprise in the first episode, so you kind of get running with that, and then trinkles a few more as we go. So I have a feeling, you know, as we get closer to the end of the season, there'll be more of a big surprise or reveal at the end. And apparently, Servant is confirmed for season 2, so we're going to get more of the story as we go. Okay, so let's get into some spoiler territory now. You've been warned, spoiler territory. Let's talk directly about some of the stuff that's going on in episodes 1, 2, and 3. If you haven't seen those, you know, watch those first and then come watch my video. Or if you just want to be spoiled, know what happens, cool. Glad to have you and look forward to some of your feedback and comments. So first off, the creep factor is real when it comes to Jericho. I mean, this baby looks almost a little too realistic, and good thing I watched this, you know, early enough that I wasn't really late at night, where I think I would have had baby Jericho nightmares. You'll have to let me know in the comments below what you think. Something I mentioned earlier about the weird framing in episode 1, that, you know, was kind of strange. We did get to see Leanne's what I'm calling a voodoo doll. It was kind of like a cross with rope and stick or something like that. We don't really know what's going on with her in episode 1, if she is a witch, a demon, a real person. It seems like there's more to Leanne than, you know, what's going on, and we sort of, you know, find things out as we go. It was funny to see sort of Sean disregard the care of the baby when Dorothy was out of the room. He just kind of like tossed Jericho on the floor, and there's one shot where like Leanne kind of witnesses that, and he's like, oh wait, I better, you know, get back into character. So that was kind of fun to see. So at the end of episode 1, we get the big reveal, or the cliffhanger, or the hook there, the M. Night hook switching up there, is that baby Jericho, who was a doll or a fake baby all along, in the end turns out to be a real baby. He's crying up in the room, and Sean discovers Jericho, and it's like, whoa, what, you know, what's gonna happen? It's a little bit of a mystery. We don't know if she kidnapped somebody others of this baby manufactured itself as a spirit or incarnation or something. We don't really know, so that's kind of the hook of things. I did want to mention that it was cool to see M. Night as a cameo as the delivery guy. I don't know if you guys kind of caught that as a little mini Easter egg there. You know, M. Night usually appears in his movies. I like it when he appears and doesn't speak, because his acting isn't so great, but it's kind of cool to see him when he just kind of pops up delivering a package. Also, it was kind of cool to see Rupert Grint here, you know, again, Ron Weasley in a show, and as the kind of neurotic alcoholic brother of Dorothy. So enjoyed episode 1. I thought it started off well, kept me engaged, kept me hooked. Felt like I was watching a Black Mirror episode or something like that. So let's get on to episode 2. Episode 2 is called Wood. Poor Sean seems to be getting attacked by wood and splinters this entire episode, hence the name. He gets a splinter in the mouth, splinter in the butt, splinter in the foot. It's almost like he's being crucified by splinters the entire episode. And I gotta say, I have hardwood floors in my house, and I never walk around barefoot for fear of getting splinters. I always wear sandals, slippers, or at least socks or something. So you're asking for trouble if you're walking around on a hardwood floor barefoot. That's a no-no. And I forgot to mention in the first episode, he breaks kind of the voodoo. Sean breaks Leanne's voodoo, and which feels like it might be made out of wood. So now is this a thing? Is because he broke that's why the wood is kind of attacking him or something? We're not really sure. We get to see more of Julian, Dorothy's brother, and I got to say, great casting here. They look like real life brother and sister in real life siblings. The red hair and the facial structure and the expressions that are making on their face. So good job casting with that. So Julian tries to help Sean with the investigation of the newborn. He kind of brings him in, shows him what's up. Unfortunately, Julian's a little bit distracted when he meets Leanne, because he seems to take a liking to her. Leanne is young and pretty and mysterious, doesn't really talk a whole lot, and we'll kind of see what happens if some relationship forms with that. This episode is mostly a continuation of the first episode, so it felt like a little bit more of a filler episode and not really like further carrying the story much further. It was a little more of a continuation. I did write down here that people take a lot of baths in the show. There's a lot of food cooking, prepping, and a lot of baths. So if you're okay with watching that, you're a bath taker, this show is for you. Okay, so now we're into episode 3, which is called Eel. Again, the shooting style now is backed off a little bit. It's a little more tame. It's not so in your face. So Julian, Dorothy's brother, hires a PI to investigate Leanne. They go and they visit her hometown and FaceTime with Sean. I felt like I was kind of watching a little bit of an Apple commercial. Everybody's got the Apple phones, FaceTiming on the iPad. I'm sure everybody has Apple computers in their house as well. I'm surprised I haven't seen really the Apple Watch in any of these Apple TV shows yet. We got to see which show has that. Maybe Aaron Paul and his show coming up, he'll have a little Apple Watch that he's wearing. But anyway, this scene here that they're sort of FaceTiming and they're out in the woods totally reminded me of something from Blair Witch Project. And I have a knock here. I kind of thought that FaceTiming with Sean back home was kind of a bad decision because all you got to see was their little camera view and it was real subtle, and hence the Blair Witch thing. But I would have liked to actually seen them on location and filming and just getting away from the house, because so far the show Servant is basically in one location and it's starting to feel a little compressed and cheap. And it would have been nice to actually see going out on location and exploring like a new sort of area visually, just kind of getting some fresh air. Lots of stuff going on in this episode. So episode 3 seems like the turning point episode. There's a lot of little nuances and things happening there with the characters and story development that I thought was kind of clever. Julian is becoming way more interesting in the show than I thought as a character. I mean, hey, everybody's kind of interesting so far, but Julian is kind of like the character that I'm like, okay, I'm the most curious to see what this character is going to say and do, and if he's going to fall in love with Leanne and forget about the investigation and the case and maybe turn the tides on Sean, and will everybody be against Sean? Will Sean eventually embrace things? He does kind of, at the end of the episode, the kind of cliffhangers, he does embrace Jericho the baby and gives him a hug. Will he wind up embracing the situation and going for it, and maybe Dorothy sort of snaps out of it and wakes up and realizes, hey, something effed up is going on here. My eyes have been shut, but now they're eyes wide open, and I understand. She kind of has these little episodes where she kind of blanks out, so maybe that's what's going to happen. That would be kind of cool if all the dudes are on board, and then Dorothy kind of snaps out and she freaks out. She's like, what is this, baby Jericho? It's supposed to be a doll or something, So I'll be curious to see how things kind of go with that. I'm on board. I'm hooked. I like that these episodes are half hour, so I could kind of blast through them, and so I get like 90 minutes for the premiere, and now I'm curious to see what happens in the next few episodes. I hope that there's some more answers. I hope that they go out on location a little bit, because I want to see more Philadelphia or Wisconsin or wherever it is that they're going around investigating and checking things out. I want to see more of that, and I want to see some of your comments in the comments below under the like button there. Let me know what you think of Servant if you're checking it out on Apple TV Plus. And again, if you guys are brand new, please subscribe and check out some of my other Apple TV Plus reviews and some Disney Plus reviews here on CoinOpTV. Thanks a bunch for watching. We'll see you guys next time.